G'day, my name is David and I love my gardening. Today I wanted to do a couple of videos of my veggie patch. I've got two veggie patches. One that is 13 meters by 13 meters, which I call veggie patch number 1. And veggie patch number 2 is one that is 5 meters across by 24 meters long. This area previously was all jungle, tea tree, scrub, blackberry. I've carved these two gardens out of this patch. I've got sun going from east to west, so the gardens are lined up with that. So let's start with number 2. Today's the 22nd of January 2022 in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. So right in the middle of summer. Today we're going to be getting a 34 degree day, 34 degrees Celsius for those folks in the US. So let's go. I've got my bed divided up into 3 areas, 3 raised beds, approximately 1 meter across, and I love using weed matting. It's not plastic. I put plastic in between to suppress weeds, catch water, but there's holes all through this to allow the water to drain. The land slopes from uphill to down, so this captures the water and helps keep our water levels up. We'll work our way through here. This looks a little bit raggedy, but this is my Bitzer Potato Bed. So probably in another few weeks I'll harvest potatoes from here. These are all leftover scrap potatoes, leftover seed potato. If I didn't have enough space, I just jam it all in here and it's become a perpetual potato bed. In the middle here we have artichoke, a couple of different varieties of artichokes. I've got globes and purple artichokes here. We're at the end of our season. I've harvested the last of our artichoke, but we may get another flush before autumn winter. A couple of weeks ago I put in some corn to grow a late season lot of corn. So it's just a sweet corn variety. Over to my left in the middle here we've got some iceberg lettuce. Everything in my garden beds, everything in the veggie patches I've raised from seed myself. So it's either been propagated inside under lights or it's been grown direct in the ground. So the corn that we have here was planted direct. So we had about 50 corn plants in. Got some cilantro, coriander going to seed here. And then in the middle we have what I love to grow. I'm passionate about growing tomatoes. So I've actually got this year about 6 or 7 different varieties of tomatoes. So these are my tomato plants. Moving along, we've got some carrots in the front here, in front of cucumbers. So I've got 3 different varieties of cucumbers this season. So the first one here is what they call a Richmond green apple cucumber. That'll be right to pick. The second I have here is what they call a supermarket long green. So growing along crazily. And then the third type that we have here, you just see through the other side, is a Lebanese cucumber. In front of my cukes we grow spring onions. I grow these in clumps. I actually just throw a 20 or so seeds down, grow them in clumps, and then you end up with a big clump like this. So when I need some spring onions for the kitchen, I just pull that whole lot out. It's ready to go, rather than growing onions in rows individually. I grow them in clumps, ready to grow, ready to grab to eat. So looking back through my sets of tomatoes, this year I planted 148 tomato plants between the two beds. One of the things you'll notice here with my tomatoes, I always take all the laterals off. So the laterals are a branch that will shoot out from the joint here in the corner. I pinch all of those off to encourage my plants to grow up and tall, put their energy up into growing tall and into producing sets of fruit, rather than producing lots and lots of leaves. And then as I get my sets of tomatoes, I'll take when a flower comes and they turn into fruit, get the tomatoes form, I'll actually then take off the branches below the first set of fruit, and then as more fruit appears, I'll take those branches off. That way the plant, as it's sending up nutrients, it's putting the nutrients into the fruit rather than into the leaves. Particularly these lower leaves in here, there's no light, so the leaves aren't actually adding anything beneficial to the plant. Moving along, got some button squash doing their thing, zucchinis, there are blackjack zucchinis. Further down here we've got some more sets of tomatoes towards the end. I'll just duck across here. So these are all my tomato tomatoes, going well beautifully. Middle bed here, this is a dedicated potato bed. Today I'm going to be taking out these 3 rows. They're ready to harvest. The plants have completely died off. In here I've got some cannabis I'm going to pull out. Got some other potatoes here which we'll be taking out in another couple of weeks' time. I'm not ready to pull those out. Over here is my asparagus bed. So I've let them, it's the end of the season. We are actually still harvesting asparagus. We're still eating asparagus here, but at this time of year I like to let it go to fern so that it can put some energy back into its crown and the ground, so they're ready to go for next season. On the right hand side, as we work our way back, these are my strawberries. These are a variety known as Red Rhapsody. First year growing, given to me by a mate in Brisbane, Stephen Zebath. Thank you, Stephen. Been making ice cream, jam, all sorts of yummies with these strawberries, done very well. Here I have my bean trellis I've made. So we've actually got 3 varieties of beans in here. I've got a metal frame up here, and then I've got bamboo across the top to the top here, and my beans just grow, and I can walk along and just pick these straight off as they hang down. So these guys here are a flat bean called Vitalis, beautiful to eat straight up, cooked, or we can a lot of these so we can enjoy them during autumn and winter. There is also wax beans in here. You can see a little one there. They're a white pale bean. And we also have some purple kings. For some reason the purple kings haven't done so well this year. The Vitalis have just gone crazy. Previous years purple kings have gone crazy, and my Vitalis haven't done so well. So one of the first tomatoes I've never grown before, first time growing, are these Roma cherry tomatoes, and they have just surprised me. The fruit sets on these, there's just hundreds of tomatoes per plant. So I'll definitely be growing more of these guys. Beautiful in salads. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous tomato. I've got mortgage lifters, beef steaks, your normal Roma tomatoes, tomatoes, you name it. I think I've just about got it in here. Moving over to here, we've got some Ford Hook spinach. That's been going gangbusters this year. In front of that, we've got some radish coming up. So we'll be picking some radish for salads probably later on today, I'm betting. Yeah, the last of our artichokes. Got some parsley that we've let go to seed. We'll collect that for growing some more parsley later on. And then this one's one that surprised me. It's taken a few years to be able to produce good fruit, but this is my Thornless Blackberry. Bought the plants at Bunnings. First 3 years the fruit were bitter like, or sour like lemons, and but after those first few years, now this thing is just producing beautiful sweet fruit, loaded with it, great for making jams, ice creams, etc. Gangbuster plant. Just got to keep it under control so it doesn't go crazy. It will, like normal blackberry, where these long, you'll get these long particular branches like this. So this one hasn't got any fruit on it, and these ones you have to watch out for, because it'll throw this out, and where it touches the ground it'll throw down roots and then jump. So I'll lop those bad boys off. So that's my veggie patch number 1. I'll do a second video for number 2. Like, share. If you have any questions or want to see something in particular, let us know.